Hello everybody and welcome back to the YMS channel. Today you join me at the beautiful setting of Hampton Court for the Concours of Elegance. Let's go around and take a look. Starting off with a lineup of Le Mans winners, we got here a Ferrari 275P, which is based on a 250LM. Basically it's one of those without a roof. However, there is a bit of a difference between the two cars as well. Visually, you got the windscreen is slightly different. It's wider rather than the curved one you get on an LM, and the back of the car is also a bit modified. This car won Le Mans in 1963 and 1964, a double Le Mans winner, which is quite rare. And of course, Ferrari won Le Mans this year as well, 50 years after the last time they entered Le Mans. Just taking a look at the interior of the 275P. Look at where the gear shifter is. It's on the right hand side of the driver. I love the combo of red and blue seats. Such a classic look. Another one of the cars in the Le Mans winning lineup is this Ford GT40 from 1968 and 1969 in the classic Golf livery. And next to it you got a Matra, a French manufacturer. Matra won Le Mans in 1974. Next to the Ferrari 275P, we got here the Mercedes 194-300 SL Gullwing. Now this looks different to your traditional Gullwing because they only made 10 of these cars, and it served as a basis as the Gullwing that came along a few years later. In 1952 they won Le Mans with this specific car itself, and due to its success and the nature of the car, they decided to make a production version of it, which is the one that we all know now. We got here my favorite classic Ferrari, a 275 GTB, and a purple Daytona, which seems to come every year. Here's the Le Mans winning car that I've always wanted to see, the Bentley Speed 8, which won Le Mans in 2003. This was part of Bentley's revival after VW bought the brand, and to win Le Mans straight out of the box, I know it was an Audi based car, but even then it's absolutely an amazing feat. We got a Koenigsegg Regera here, finished in white with a red interior, parked next to a Porsche 997 4 litre, which is extremely rare. This is a car from 1926. It competed in Le Mans, but look how tiny it is. Imagine racing that down the Mulsanne Straight, especially at night, and then something like that goes past you. Basically a Bentley truck. Here we have a Rondo M379B, and don't worry if you haven't heard of this car, neither have I, but apparently the person who drove this car, Jean Rondeau, is the only person to win the Le Mans 24 hours with a car bearing his own name. So I think that's an interesting fact. Jaguar XJR9, in its famous silk cut livery. Probably one of the most iconic racing liveries of all time. Ferrari 250 LM from 1964, probably one of the most beautiful cars ever made. If you're wondering what this metal sheet is on the bonnet, it's a wind deflector for the bugs at high speed that normally hit the windscreen. I actually really like the way these older cars had unique numbers painted on them. What do you think? I mentioned unique number stylings on a 250 LM. Here's another one. Is that a 91 or 21? Ferrari 365 GTV for Daytona Competizione. Interesting fact, the Daytona was never meant to go racing, but customer demand meant that Ferrari gave some cars to Michelotto and had some converted for racing. And it was quite successful in many ways. In this lineup we've got Aston Martin DB5 shooting brake, a really rare Ferrari F40 in blue. I believe this was actually done by the factory, this change in colour, because they all came out in red originally, but some of the cars have been resprayed by the factory and can be Classic A certified because of that. Got here a legend from the 1990s, the Bugatti EB110, the Italian era of the company, starting to become a bit of a cult classic now, even though for years it was kind of a forgotten supercar. Built to celebrate the birthday of Ettore Bugatti, the 110 years of his anniversary. Here's a car that I've been trying to find a long time now, the Bugatti 110, a Bugatti EB110 tribute car based on the Chiron. And you can see a lot of the EB110 in this car. Let's just start with the back. You've got the lights here that resemble the air vents that we had on the EB110. You've got the SS style air intakes here. And if you come to the front of the car, the lights resemble the EB110 but just meaner looking.
we watch these wonderful Bugattis from the World Connection leave the main stage. And just a few minutes ago, we're having a chat with the drone crew. The drone crew are new.
Fiat Abarth world record car. I'm a big fan of Abarth. They make such quirky cars, and here's one of them. A 250 GTO is always special to see, but this one is a unique car that is finished in white and one of only 8 right-hand drive cars. We got here a car that we saw earlier. Probably the most beautiful Peugeot ever seen.
Sorry, sir.
That car just won an award. The Ferrari 250 short wheelbase, one of the most desirable Ferraris of all time, and this is the most desirable spec with the covered headlamps. And this one is in an absolutely stunning condition, come all the way from Monaco, if you believe it or not. Alfa Romeo 8C 2300 Monza. Can you spot something? The Scuderia shields. Enzo used to race Alfa Romeos officially as their team. That's how he got his start in racing. The 1964 Peel Trident. The smallest car here. Kind of like a toy, really. Here we have the Lamborghini Countach, my favorite variant of the Countach. This is a 5000 QV 88.5, and you see this is 88.5 by the side strakes. They're made between 14 and 29 depending on who you believe of this car, and for me it's got all the looks of the wide body Countach with the flares and all the refinement and the horsepower that you want. Unlike the Anniversary, which I think kind of lost a bit of its look. Got a Lamborghini Diablo 6-litre VT here. By this point, this is the final variant of the Lamborghini Diablo, and as you can see, they kind of cleaned up the car. This is kind of a Diablo GT but cleaner. It's less of a race car for the road type look, and they went back to some of the original design as well, as you can see with the engine cover, but the car still has a lot of the features of the GT, as you can see with the wider track at the front, and also you got rid of the pop-up headlights. It's just a cleaner car. Another Lamborghini Countach. This is the third one at the show. This is Anniversary in a really rare red. It's more like an orange. Don't know what it's called, but it's nice to see more and more Countaches at shows like this. It's kind of the forgotten classic, really, but it's starting to be recognized. We've got a Ex-Sultan of Brunei collection car here, the Aston Martin Virage Volante 6.3 wide body car, one of only 19. Look at the green interior. Got an Aston Martin Valkyrie here. I think this car, without doubt, is the technological marvel of our generation. I mean, it is so extreme. There's no compromise on this car. Everywhere you look, it's doing something. Everything has a purpose behind it. The aero, the seating position is designed to maximize the center of gravity. It's amazing, and it's so aggressive to look at as well. Hamilton's McLaren-Mercedes F1 car from 2007. I mean, the sculpture on these things is insane. I mean, just look at all the aero work that's going on here, just at the back of the car. Here's a Ferrari that, if you went past it, you'd probably just look at it once and then not look at it again, because it looks kind of like a normal Ferrari, if there is such a thing. This is, however, a very special car. It's only one of four. It's a custom built car from 1967. A 330 GTC Speciale, made for Ferrari's more important clients. If you're into Aston Martins, there's a whole row of them here. They normally come on a Saturday. I think it's the club that comes down, and tomorrow, Sunday, they have Ferraris, I believe. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them. I have the lineup of all these Aston Martins, this is the one that stands out to me, the Vantage 600. Super rare car. The McLaren HS MSO, the hardcore variant of the 675 LT. This one's got a fixed wing on it, a roof scoop. I think they only made a handful of these cars as a special commission, so it's extremely rare to see one. Got a beautiful Hauyra finished in white with a red stripe down the middle. Second Regera of the day. Got an extremely rare early Lamborghini Diablo SV without a wing, which you don't really see. Most of them were spec with wings, and it doesn't even have the SV lettering on the side of it. And you can tell this is an early Diablo because there are no glass headlights. This one's got pop-up headlights. Lamborghini Countach 5000S. Not the most desirable version of the Countach, but it's still pretty cool to see one. Nissan Skyline GTR race car. It looks insane. It's got a side exhaust as well. You got one mean looking Porsche 911 RSR here, finished in black. I'm going to end the vlog here, guys. This was a fantastic event. I mean, some of the cars here were amazing, especially the Le Mans cars and the startup. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.